Place 2 stitch markers on your loom to mark the first peg and the 13th peg. 13. Next, make a slip knot and place it on your first peg. So right there. I'll cast on. I am going to be using the E-wrap non-loopy cast on, where I skip every other peg. Now I'm going to go back and knit all those stitches. I'm going to grab the loop between the 2 pegs that have a wrap. I'm going to grab that loop, twist it and place it on the empty peg, and then I'm going to knit it. I'm going to knit that second one first, then I'll go back and knit the first one. Perfect. Tug on your working yarn. Knit. There's that empty peg. Go in, pick it up. And row 1 is knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, all the way to the stitch before last. Then you knit the last one. Let me show you how it's done. Knit 1, purl 1, Now we have reached the last peg and we're going to knit it. This is that +1 on this instructions. Row 2, we are going to do the opposite. Wherever there was a knit, we're going to purl. So we know we finished on a knit, so that one is a purl this time. Then we're going to knit the next one. Purl. This is creating the seed stitch. And the last one is a purl. Now you sew row 1 and row 2. Repeat row 1 and row 2 until the necktie measures about 21 inches. Go ahead to that point. Here we are. My tie is about 21 inches now. If it's a little bit shorter or a little bit longer, it'll be okay. Now we are going to decrease. This is going to be the part that goes behind the tie. And for that, we just need it to be a little bit less wide in the front. So we're gonna bring it in and we're gonna create knit 2 togethers. For the beginning of the row, simply bring the first stitch over one spot. That second peg will have 2 stitches. We are going to do something similar at the end. We're gonna create 2 stitches together. So we're gonna lift the loop on the second to last peg, and then you're gonna lift the loop on the last peg and place it on that second to last peg. This loop that is on your knitting tool, place it back on that peg. So you have 2 loops on the first peg that used to be your second peg, and 2 loops on your second to last peg. Now, in order to maintain the stitch pattern as has been established already, this row we are going to do purl 2 together. So as you can see, there's 2 stitches, so you'll be purling them together. So it's purl, then you're gonna knit 1 and purl 1, knit 1, end with a purl 1. You have decreased now the row by 2 stitches. So we have decreased by 2 stitches on that round, on that row. Now we're gonna continue working in the stitch pattern all the way back to the beginning. So we ended on a purl 1, so the next one will be the opposite, which is a knit 1. So go ahead and knit that first peg, moving a purl, then knit, and purl, knit, purl, knit. And we'll finish with a knit. We are going to do another set of decreases just like we did before. So bring that first stitch over to the second peg. Perfect. And go all the way to the end. Remove the last stitch, second to last. Place the last one on that peg and replace the stitch that you're holding on the peg. Excellent. Now we're ready to continue knitting. So now in this round we're gonna do a knit, a purl, a knit, and a purl, and you're gonna knit it, treating both loops as one. Excellent. We have decreased all the way from 13 stitches down to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You will continue knitting in the seed stitch as established right now. So you finish with a knit. The next one will be, next round you'll start with a purl. Remember, always the opposite of what the previous stitch is on that previous round. And you will continue in this stitch pattern until your tie measures about 56 inches. Go ahead and we'll see you at that point, and I'll show you how to bind off. My tie has reached 57 inches. I am ready to bind off. Knit the first 2 pegs. Move the second stitch and place it on the first peg. Lift the bottom over the top. Move this one over. Knit the next one. thread the tapestry needle with the yarn and weave it into the back end. And your tie is completed. Now all you need to do is wrap it up and gift it to that special someone.